Not too long ago, I decided to review Yorgos Lanthimos' Poor Things. Today I'm talking about another one of his films, The Lobster. Hi, my name's Stu and welcome to another review video on Flying Wiener. Now this film was vaguely on my radar. I've always seen it mentioned online in places. I never knew it was a film by Yorgos Lanthimos, so as I was looking, through the online streaming service, I was checking for a film that might interest me that I could talk about. So like, oh, The Lobster, right? I've heard about this. Didn't know anything about this film going into it, so that is something that I do want to prepare you for. I will talk about it a bit later as well, but be prepared. This is sort of a dark, black comedy, a bit absurdist in that direction. I didn't know, right? I mean, okay, I've seen Poor Things and I was kind of prepared for it might be a bit weird or offbeat or something like that. Yeah, but it's still, if had I known, I think I would have, enjoyed it from the very first moment, because the first few minutes I was trying to figure out what was happening. But nonetheless, yes, this is a very interesting film. It's a very unique film. Yeah, one that's got a lot to offer, especially if you're the kind of person who likes to analyze sort of social constructs, social interactions between people, what our society expects from people, at least when it comes to relationships that they have. I think this film has got a lot to offer in that sense. It's really, really interesting. So I think we might as well just get stuck into the plot. So what is this about? We are focused on a man. This is a I don't know if it's supposed to be slightly futuristic or not. It's a society that's roundabout where we are right now. I mean, it is at least a bit sci-fi when it comes to one aspect, which I'm just about to mention. In this society, this fictional society, it's very frowned upon. I was going to say you're not allowed. I think you are allowed, in a sense you are allowed, but let's put it this way, society frowns upon you being single. We don't like singles in this film, in this film universe. Everyone needs to have a partner, right? And this is what we see. Colin Farrell, he is our main, his character is the main focus of the story. We start the story with his wife having left him for someone else. And so he now goes down to, basically it's like a registration office, and they're going through all the boring details, name, preferred sex, and are you homosexual or heterosexual, and do you want this, and it's very funny just how nonchalantly people are discussing openly these very, very private things. And he's giving all his details because he's being added to the register. Because now that he is single again, he gets shunted off to a hotel. And this, I'm not even, this sounds like I've just made this up, but this, I swear to you, is the plot of the story. He has 45 days in this hotel to find another partner, otherwise he is going to be turned into an animal of his choice. Does that make it better? I suppose it does. That is what this society is like. So if you're not in a relationship with a person, you have to find one within the shortest period of time, and if you fail, you get turned into an animal. That's where the title comes in, The Lobster. I won't explain to you, I won't spoil why it is. You learn why it's called The Lobster pretty early on in the film, but still I won't spoil it for you, because it is a nice scene in the film as well. But yes, that is the basic plot. And so we're watching Colin Farrell's character go through his 45 days, and we also meet a group of people who are outside of this society, who deliberately want to lead a single life because they feel that should be okay, and they want the exact opposite, which is we don't want any relationships. If you talk to someone, it has to be really platonic. You're not allowed to flirt. If you're dancing, you have to do it on your own. All these kind of things. And the film keeps going like that, because so he's in therapy, he's being taught things, how partners or how you're supposed to act in a relationship. And it's just very, very weird, because they're all out looking for very superficial things, right? And we learned this very early on. You've got one guy who's got a limp, so he's desperately looking for a woman who's got a limp, because that could be, their shared property, as it were, one characteristic they share. And in this world, at least, people think that is what binds you, which is obviously absolutely rubbish. You can't base a whole relationship on just having one physical characteristic, And it goes on like that. You've got one woman who's particularly cruel, so yeah, I mean, I won't spoil it, but that's why everyone latches on to this, right? If she gets a partner, it has to be someone who's really cruel, And like I say, it keeps going like that. It's very strange in that way, but it is really, really funny, I will say, because the movie, just the actual scenes themselves, because this society obviously isn't really very emotional. When they're talking, it's done very bluntly. They're all very matter of fact, because it's all just focused on homing in to find your ideal partner. You know, there's a time limit, there's stress involving that, although no one actually seems very stressed. They're like, yeah, I've just got another day, then they get turned into an animal. Yeah, no. Very weird, very weird. Like I say, it's very fun as well to just watch these things and think about how our society, and I do notice that even in my personal vicinity, you know, I won't mention who, but I've got a member of the family. This person is single, and you've got the older generation like, when are you finally going to get a partner? You know, and then, you know, shall I hook you up with this person, this, that, and the next thing? And it's really weird watching it, because it's like, just leave them alone, you know. No one needs to be forced into a relationship. I am in a relationship. I enjoy it a lot. I couldn't imagine life without it. To be perfectly honest, I'd frankly be scared at this point to even go out and having to date. I wouldn't know how to do it anymore. It's been too long, you know, and all these kind of things. So yeah, I get that this is all, this causes anxiety in people, etc. But the solution can't be to just force it upon people. And I mean, like, there's one really funny scene in the film. It's like, oh, if you can't really get along, we've got one other person, Olivia Colman. She's the sort of the manageress of the hotel, and she even says to them, oh, if you can't get along, we'll give you a child, you know, as if that just solves any relationship. I mean, it's such a cliche, but it's really funny, you know. So it's very dark humor, it's very quirky, it's a bit insane, the whole thing, especially the animal part, you know. And just to just to complete the picture, all the guys that are still in the hotel, they go out every because people, you know, obviously try and flee and stuff, they run away. And they're surrounded by forests. It's a really bleak environment. It doesn't really do much for you. It's not like they're out, you know, palm beaches and sun and all that to really sort of get everyone flirty or something like that. You know, it's just like, no, it's just basically out in the country, nothing there. But these guys, they go out and we've got tranquilizer rifles, and they shoot the people who try and run away, so that they do get turned into animals. It's all just very, very strange. But I found it a lot of fun. It's very interesting. I'd have to watch it again sometime, you know, pay even more attention to what the character's like. If you know from the start it's going to be this weird thing, I think you'll get it from the get-go. The first 10 to 15 minutes, I was like, what on earth is going on here? It's just so strange. But I liked it a lot. The performances are great, even although everyone's very deadpan. All the actors are really committed to it. You've got Rachel Weisz in here as well. She plays a bit of a bigger role. They're all very committed, and ultimately it's very, very fun to watch them all say that really just blunt things to each other, because they're all just so focused on the facts of people, you know. There's no emotion in it or anything, and it's just the things that they come out and say, it's crazy. Really a lot of fun. So if you enjoy Yorgos Lanthimos' other films, or if you just like to watch an independent film that feels a bit, you know, quirky and weird and unusual, etc., etc., if you like black comedy, then definitely watch this. You know, it's yeah, I thought I had a really fun time with this film, so it's a recommendation from me. That'll be all from me today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. It is the best way to support this channel. Leave a comment down below about this film or other films, either by Yorgos Lanthimos or other directors that are in the same vein. You know, I'm always interested in seeing very unusual films, and this was definitely one of them. So anything you want to say, put that down in the comments below. I'll thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one on Flying Wiener. Take care.